Now, many people in the U.S. and throughout the world do not consume their news and information through traditional means. They don't go to the CNNs or the MSNBCs or Fox News, etc. Most of the people who's doing that is your older crowd who's really not into the smartphone. But your younger crowd or your middle-aged crowd, we're all on smartphones, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, Twitter, etc. Well, that has had a great effect on the mainstream media. Had an effect. So much so that there was a big report in the New York Post that talked about more than 15,000 media jobs were cut in 2018. That's a lot. Now, I want to talk to you about what they are blaming for that reason, okay? Say the news organizations just by itself, just news, had lost 11,878 jobs. They say that's up 281% from a year earlier, okay? That's a jump when the previous number was only 4,062 jobs. That's a lot of jobs that's being cut with the mainstream media. It really is. Now, this is what they blame. They blame consolidation, which is not consolidation, declining revenue, that I agree with, combative language from the Trump administration. Now, let's start there. Let's start with Donald Trump. Donald Trump came in and he started calling them fake news. And what he was doing by saying fake news is delegitimizing them throughout the world. Now he is like in a position of president. So President of the United States has a big position throughout the world, right? It is something that people look up to, people believe, whatever. So you having Donald Trump being the president of the United States saying the media in his country is fake news, even though, yes, I get he says a lot of that when they lie on him, because sometimes they do lie on him. If you look into it, sometimes they do. And then sometimes he calls them fake news and actually telling the truth on it, right? But all in all, he's been persistent in calling them fake news. Now, why I support Donald Trump in that fake news aspect, because we as black Americans have suffered from fake news ever since we got here. All the racist stereotypes that's presented in media to the masses of this country has been lies and fake news. If you go back to Black Wall Street, they posted a fake rape claim, okay, to get the white men and the KKK and all the other ones to go and destroy Black Wall Street, just to give you one. There's been many other riots that's happened where they posted the exact same thing in their newspaper saying, oh, these black men raped these white women. It never happened. And it galvanized them with all these race riots during Reconstruction. Fake news. When you look at these stereotypes they constantly put out before the world about black people, it's fake news, like we're all that way. All they want to cover is the worst of our community or people who have mental illness problems, because a lot of people in our community have mental illness issues. That's why they act the way they act. And you have to understand that in this system, it's been a concerted effort to keep the black man, black woman, and black children dysfunctional. And then they want to blame them at the same time for their dysfunction. Okay? So we have a lot of issues going on, but the media never will report that truth of how we got to where we at, why we acting where we acting. But they're going to say, oh, this is just black people. This is what they do. Look at them. Fake news. So they do need to be delegitimized. I agree with that 100%. And it has an effect, okay, big time. Then they said they also blame occasional violence marked 2018 for members of the media. How many people are actually going out there attacking reporters? I don't see that. Now, I'm not saying the idiot haven't done it here and there, but usually the idiots have done that, wear those MAGA hats. Just saying. It ain't just been nobody else attacking reporters. Now, they said that, the media, the journalists have been having a tough few years, or how dare they be told that they're fake news? How dare they be told, they're lying to the people? How dare that happens, right? You're out there, you're supposed to be putting out the truth. Who cares what people say? As long as the truth is on your side. Now, they also state on the money aspect, that the business model they're running right now, we're looking at, hey, you can look at the news and then they get ad revenue. They can't do that no more. Now you're seeing places like the Washington Post and many other ones putting up their articles now behind paywalls, something they never did before. Now, the reason why that's happening is because of one entity, the tech companies. Now, they stated that Facebook and Google combined make up 58% of the digital advertising market, and Amazon, which had 4.2%, is looking to increase its share. So between Facebook, Google, and Amazon, you have people with well over 60% consuming their news through that. Now, without them making a revenue, they can't keep employees. So now do you understand when people like Roly Poly and Angela Rye and all these other ones are upset and calling us names or whatever, they're cutting jobs, okay? We know as black folks at the end of the day, we are last hire and first fire. We know this as black folk. So if they can't Negro-splain us enough, they got to get rid of them because they can't afford to keep them. They're cutting too many jobs. They got to take care of their people first. Now, they stated that, this is what they state, the mainstream media is admitting defeat here. This leaves less than half the market open for large number of media companies that rely on revenue to survive. Meaning, the nail's in the coffin for us. Now, do you remember that ad revenue crisis thing that happened here on YouTube? That was the mainstream media trying to stop this from happening. It was them trying to attack social media companies because it was all done to protect their bottom line. And yes, it did work a little bit, but what happened in the process? People still didn't go back to them. People had stated, wait a minute, I like this particular content creator or content creators. I'm going to donate to them. I'm going to join their Patreons. I'm going to do whatever because I don't want them to stop doing what they're doing. I understand things have a cost, especially when you have a team of people. So yes, I'm going to keep doing this. And that's what happened. People came through, people donated, people supported, and it had no hiccups in the road. So much so that YouTube had now came up with a thing called channel memberships, okay? That was their response to Patreon because everybody left from YouTube, went to Patreon and opened up Patreon accounts so their shows can be supported. And the people was gracious enough to support the shows. And I know the mainstream media was like, this was supposed to shut all that down. That's what they was trying to do at the time period. Even the advertisers themselves, they understand that sites like YouTube and Facebook have billions of viewers per day. Television don't have billions of viewers per day. They don't. So, of course, as a marketer, I want to be in the place where my ad is going to be shown the most. I don't want my ad to be shown the least. I mean, that's just a business thing. And all these advertisers had to come back and start advertising with the YouTubes and everyone else. And it's going to increase even more. They stated through the first 3 quarters of 2018, the advertisers spent $75.8 billion all on digital marketing. That's it. Didn't give it to them. That's money that's been taken out of their mouths and out of their companies. Okay? So they don't know what to do because you guys are just want to hear your news and information just from regular people. That's it. You don't want to hear no left-wing news, no right-wing news. You just want to hear people state their opinion. That's it on the news, which is an awesome thing. Now, they said that a lot of advertisers are bypassing all the traditional media and they're going sometimes directly to what they call influencers. I don't like the word influencers. I rather say content creators. Now, they say the job cuts and consolidations are likely to continue until these companies are able to find ways to create growth in revenue streams. So the jobs are being cut, period. They're being cut. The mainstream media is dying. So if you lose your job in the mainstream media, what I would tell some of you is create your own platforms, get involved with what we're doing, and some of you probably want to say what the things that I'm saying, but you can't because you're bound by that job. And if you used to work in the mainstream media, brother or sister, or, you know, and you trying to get on, holler at your brother. You get what I'm saying? I have no problem trying to assist a brother and sister transitioning out of that. And it's true, we need all the help we can get reporting the news, but report it in truth. Don't come up here with all that you know, agenda. Now, the final thing that was very interesting in this article from the New York Post, when they stated that the trick there is convincing consumers of the importance and value of real, unbiased, and uninfluenced news. So basically, you guys don't believe in them. And they have to tell you they're the real news, they're unbiased, in which we know all of that's a lie. Every bit of that is a lie. And then they say they're uninfluenced news, which we know that's a lie. So I can't believe they put that all together in one sentence. But what does that say? Donald Trump has actually been a help to content creators, believe it or not. He actually has, because yes, he delegitimized them. They don't have like the stroke they used to have, even during the time of Obama. They don't have it like they used to, okay? Not to say they don't still have some, you know, level of notoriety, but I'm saying it's been greatly reduced during his time period. So that's why Time Warner, which is the parent company of CNN, gave Kamala Harris over $126,000, right? And this is why she talking about, oh, about the real news and all, you know what I'm saying? It's because they're banking on her getting in because they're tired of getting that word from Trump. This is really what it is. So the voices in black media, and we talking about the newer voices in black media, you're being heard. Understand that. Your narratives are being talked about. Remember, that black agenda talk came from social media. That ADOS talk came from social media. They didn't come from the mainstream media. So whatever social media is saying, they are controlling what they're talking about in the mainstream. They can't afford to ignore us anymore. They can't. They have to talk about it because our voices are loud. And it's a collective voice. It's not one person that's talking, which is a beautiful thing. All this about a black agenda, being a native black American descendant of slaves, all of that talking, what we're pushing with that is just what we finally realize that we should have been doing. And they have to talk to us. And then it's been said, and shout out to the sister Teslin Figaro. I watched her piece on Fox News, and she told them straight up about if they don't get a black agenda, you're not getting the black vote. It's just that simple. And they don't like that. They think that we could be used and abused, and we say no more. You're going to put some respect on our name, and you either give us what we want, or we just not going to vote. We're going to stay home, we're going to chill our nerves, and y'all can deal with Trump for another 4 years. You know good and well, black folks sit at home and don't vote. You know Trump going to get in. I know you're scared of that. We're not scared of it because, hey, what's Trump? I mean, we've been dealing with this for over 400 years. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation with the mainstream media. They are crying defeat. They're saying we just about done. We have to cut jobs. We have to go to subscription-based models. We can't do free 99 no more and get the ad revenue because we're just not relevant. You know, people are tired of the hit pieces. People are tired of the slander that the mainstream media has been doing to people, taking people's words out of context. You have to understand something. When Bunny interviewed with me and they were freaking out that why she wouldn't interview with them, her main thing was they edited me a certain way. It's making me sound like I agreed with Amber Geiger, okay? So I wouldn't have got the interview if they were doing things the right way. See, people see that. People are awakened. People of all, you know, groups I've seen are awakened to the mainstream media, and that's why you're losing, and you might as well go on and start laying people off and closing up shop because it is what it is at this point. You probably do better reaching out to people who know what they're doing in the content creator space if you need some help. But hey, that's going to cost you a little bit. I don't think you want to do that.